for it this afternoon. Please welcome a player who looks back to his best. 5 in a row from 2-0 down yesterday, bidding to close in on a 5th Crucible quarter-final. Semi-finalist 3 years ago, champion in 15. He will be so pumped up for this afternoon. Here comes Stuart Ball Run Bingham. And his opponent, who started and finished the session so well yesterday in this, his 4th consecutive last 16 match at the Crucible. 6 times a ranking event finalist, and without doubt, one of the most exciting players of his generation. Ready for a massive session on the biggest stage of all. Here comes the jackpot. And now to one of the all-time greats, bidding to take a step closer to an 18th Crucible quarter-final. Only Hendry and O'Sullivan have made it to more. Winner of 31 ranking titles in all, the 3rd most decorated player in history, the pride of Scotland, the Wizard of Wishaw, the one and only John Higgins. And finally, to one of this season's outstanding performers, winner of 6 big titles in the last 2 years. Can he close in on a 6th quarter-final 15 years after his first? A UK champion, a Masters champion, the pride of Northern Ireland. Here comes Mark the Pistol Allen. Can't stop addicted to the shindig. Chop, chop, before some Halloween big. Choose not to like a revelation.
So it's Stuart Bingham against Jack Lazowski on table 2. You can watch that on Discovery Plus on our digital platform. But here on table 1, part 2 of Mark Allen and John Higgins. I think Higgins will be the happier. Part 2 of Mark Allen and John Higgins. I think Higgins will be the happier of the two with that 4-all scoreline. Just one significant break from him in the match so far. Allen had the chance to take a 5-3 lead, but Higgins won the 4th. Allen unable to get the snookers he needed at the back end of that 8th frame. So
the 9th
all
frame.
square, here we go.
To break.
Mark Allen to break off in frame 9. Of course, another 8 frames coming this afternoon, and they actually play to a finish tomorrow evening. Higgins, who started using a new cue in the build-up to this championship. He's never been afraid of experimenting with new equipment. How many times did you change your cue in your pomp, Joe?
Oh, only twice, I'm afraid. The one I won the World Championship with is, that's the one I started with. And then a few years after that, I had it split in 2, actually, and it was never the same after that. I had it split in 2 to take on the planes with me, and it was never the same. So the one I'm using now, I switched to, and I've been loyal to that cue ever since.
Utterly faithful. Half a chance here for Allen to get in first, because he made a century in the opening frame when they were spread everywhere. Nicely cued. Although the cue ball is nowhere.
No, I think he may have tried just to clip the black, develop it. He got very close, didn't he? It could so easily have been on the pink a little harder. It was a good pot. Not playing to pot this. Just playing the safety.
Mark Allen, 1.
Sometimes it can take a while to adjust to a new cue, and it was noticeable that John Higgins' long game wasn't quite there yesterday, only 4 out of 12 achieved. Made that break of 73 in order to help him share the first 8 frames. That's actually his highest break of the tournament so far. His highest against Jamie Jones in round 1 was 68. Oh, what a pot that was. Nothing wrong with that long one.
Brilliant. Very good. And what's even better, as far as John Higgins fans are concerned, that he took it on. Because he could have played the safety, but he took it on, and in it went cleanly. Excellent shot. Real confidence builder, that one.
Playing his 100th match in the World Championship, John Higgins. Of course, he's been an ever-present in the world's top 16 since 1995, the year he made his debut here and lost to McManus. But he needs to win this match with that top 16 ranking in mind, even though he beat Jamie Jones in round 1. With other results, he's still provisionally outside of the 16, and of course it's a record he's very proud of. But he's dismissed any talk of retirement, which was kind of hinted at in the build-up to this championship after beating Jones. No plans to pack away his cue, whatever happens in this World Championship, which is good to hear.
Absolutely. We want to see the likes of John, Ronnie, Mark Williams, Ken Doherty. We want to keep on seeing them. We may never see their likes again. He's had 13 993 centuries. And the crowd bewitched.
Three out of 4 with the rest in this match.
Thanks. 12.
Always likes to leave a nice angle on the black to be able to manoeuvre it wherever he likes. Could play for the red back into the same pocket. Red to the middle. He's got various options.
This is their 3rd World Championship meeting. Higgins has won the previous 2. He's also won the 2 times they played at the UK Championship, but Mark Allen has won 5 out of 6 when they played at the Masters. And of course edges the overall head-to-head 13-11. They played 5 times this season alone and 4 times this year. Allen edging it 3-2. So they're very familiar with one another this season already, but of course this is the biggest match of all.
$19.
Not afraid of using the rest, and that's what he played
26.
to do that. Played to finish straighter on this red. So just slightly out of position, taking the more difficult red. Always nice to see those going as well. Now, does he go into them? Or does he play for that last loose red? If he could catch that red by the pink spot on the right-hand side as we look at it when the picture comes back up, he'd push the red towards the corner. Perfectly played. Absolutely perfectly played. But is he on one?
32. 32.
I won't be too concerned about the pink being tied up.
$33.
Would have liked to have been closer to the black and a better angle. This is awkward. May screw back for the red to the middle, but it's just awkward, this. Didn't quite have the angle to run through off the cushions.
$40. $41.
And now back in prime position. The red by the pink spot. That one there. We're going to this left corner. And may just be able to give the other reds a nudge.
46. 47.
I feel sure he just tried to catch the end red and develop it. But the two loose reds would be enough. Again, perfectly played. Perfect strength.
54.
What a start this is for John Higgins. Started with that terrific red to the left corner. Cue ball back down for one of the baulk colours. 53 lead. Red and the black. 61 and the other red would be enough. And he's got on with this
55.
break, John Higgins. Hasn't hung about at all. Seen the shot, played it.
He started a little scratchily against Jamie Jones, trailed 3-1 in the first round, and then noticeably did pick up the pace, improved his rhythm, and played very well thereafter. Got a little bit sticky right at the end in closing it out, but in the end it was
62.
comfortable enough, 10-6 win, and we saw his reaction at the end. He was pumping his fist, all smiles. Means so much to him even now after all he's achieved.
63.
So that should be the frame.
Well, one snooker needed, so I wouldn't say the frame yet, especially where the red is by the pink. Because if Mark could pop 3 reds, 3 blacks, he could play a snooker him behind the pink. And it would be a tough one. So he could do with this blue going in. And that's the grip. And that will do nicely. 2 snookers to tie now.
$68.
And that ends everything.
69.
Won't be coming back now, Mark Allen. He may have done, had that red not gone in.
I'm sure Higgins will be conscious
74.
that what a start for the 4 times world champion John Higgins. A break of 75, his best
Frame
of the
10.
tournament thus
John
far,
Higgins to
launched
break.
by as good a red as you'll see from distance. So that will have boosted his confidence early. They first met here way back in 2009 in the semi-finals. Mark Allen had beaten Ronnie O'Sullivan earlier in the tournament, played brilliantly in that match, then found himself 14-4 behind to Higgins. And in the end, Higgins was relieved to get over the line at 17-13. It was a huge comeback from Allen, but just left himself too much to do. And then again, in 2017, in the second round, like here, it was a 13-9 victory for Higgins.
Yeah, so in this great event, it's Higgins who's had the success.
Higgins actually pointed out ahead of this match that for a player of Allen's calibre, his World Championship record is modest. Last year, of course, he made the semis again, but that was only the second time after that meeting with Higgins. 09, so traditionally he's not produced his best snooker here. Then again, as we know, in the last couple of seasons, he's found a winning formula. Multiple titles, playing a less expansive sort of a game than he did in previous times. Prepared to play the defensive shot when necessary, play the percentages. Outscoring John Higgins at the moment, but a frame behind. So
I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever, Philip, that Mark Allen will at some stage win this great event. Just too good not to. And some of the older players, of course, are getting older.
in fact, all of them are getting older. Yeah, Allen is very motivated to conquer the World Championship. He's won the other two legs of the Triple Crown, of course. I think he feels his game style now is best equipped to deal with the rigours of this event, which are unique. He's definitely given up something in flair in the way he's played, but you can't argue with the results he's had in the last couple of seasons. 3 titles last season, Northern Ireland Open, that UK Championship when he came from 6-1 down, remember, to beat Ding, 10-7. World Grand Prix. And this season played exceptionally well to win the Invitational Champion of Champions. He only dropped 8 frames in that event, which of course features all of the winners of the tournaments from the previous season. Also picked up the shootout, which was significant actually, because he made a quiet start to this season and was outside the top 32 going into that tournament, but by winning it, got himself into the World Grand Prix, and he's built his season up since then. Not much of a safety in the end from Allen. He hasn't found the baulk cushion. One thing Mark Allen has shown in spades during this period of success in winning the titles that he has, 5 of them in the last 2 seasons, is patience. That final against Sting at the UK Championship is a case in point. At no stage did he panic. He was completely outplayed in the first session. Trailed 6-1 as mentioned, managed to win the last of the session and only dropped 1 more frame thereafter. But he has a tremendous match play temperament these days. Doesn't care how long it takes, as long as he gets the win. The ability to fall back on your B game, as it's called, is so important, particularly at the Crucible. If you don't have that B game, it's not possible to win this tournament because you can't play well all of the time, particularly over 17 days and the long frame sessions in this event. So sometimes you've got to scrap it out and make sure that when you do have an off session, the damage is limited as much as possible so that it doesn't derail the match altogether.
Touching ball called, so he can play the cue ball anywhere he wants to in the baulk area. He's looking at the possible plant there in case he does play the cue ball down in the long grass, as they call it. Might leave a plant on, doesn't want to do that.
No question that Allen does take longer these days over his shots than he did when he was better known for being quite a mercurial player. He'd have streaks where he was unplayable, made lots of big breaks quickly, and then maybe might go quiet. But of course now he's much more consistent in terms of his match performances and victories.
Well, it's going into 1.5 minutes to play a touching ball. He's covered that possible plant, which is what he was concerned about.
half a chance for Alan if he can knock this mid-range red in. He was quite wide of the mark there.
Yeah, anything on though, unless that is a plant, of course. Did he forget all about that? I think he thought he'd had a free go there, but if he's left the plant, it could be costly. Yep, it's there. It's on.
1.
The red next to the black. He's just having a look to see if it will go. That releases the black then. If he can play on that red.
Seven. Eight.
Yeah, still not a good table as yet.
15.
Just having a look at another possible plant to the right corner.
$16.
No, depends if that's a plant or not. He's got the opportunity to go into the reds or play for the red near the left corner. Just play. Looks like it's the plant again.
23. $24.
And now he's got the angle to go into them. It might have been a costly red that Mark Allen attempted. Missed it and guaranteed to have left the plant on. I think he'd forgotten about it, you know. Could have played that cue ball somewhere else. Now, how's things worked out there? Not too bad, actually.
31.
No question that John Higgins has made the more assured start to the afternoon. That brilliant red that he raked in from distance, which launched his tournament high 75, would have helped.
Well, cheekily looking for another plant. He's already had two in this little break.
$34.
Deliberately holding the spot. Yellow going down onto the blue spot.
35.
And I think the red directly below the pink will go into the left corner,
38.
which in turn releases another 2 reds to the right corner. And I think the red directly below the pink will go into the left corner,
38.
which in turn releases shouldn't have been anywhere near those reds. Be disappointed with that.
Brown more. John Higgins, 39.
And red's going towards that corner. It's gone in the corner. What a fluke that could turn out to be. Because where would the red have been had it not gone in? Right over the pocket. And that almost certainly would have cost him the frame. Well, there's nothing that John Higgins can do about that. Let him
Still be fuming, though, about this positional error he made just now when he was going nicely.
Yeah, he would.
Mark Allen hasn't settled at all as yet in this session, now looking for something to build on, but
4.
that could be end of break.
It wasn't the best positional shot, was it, to tell you the truth? It was way out there. At least 3 foot. As nothing goes into the middle. Played for the red into the right corner. So it's just a safety from that fluke a moment ago.
Mark Allen, 4.
Allen will be disappointed, to put it mildly, that that fluke yielded only a further 3 points. Not the greatest of starts for Allen.
Foul.
Wasn't
John
sure
Higgins, 4.
if it was going to drop.
Terrific. Oh, well, I was saying terrific pot. I thought it was in. And I think on certain other tables it would have been, but you've got to be so precise at this World Championship. Certainly struck it well, didn't he? But no joy for Higgins.
Yeah. I always thought it might drop this one as I saw it coming towards the pocket. Couldn't have got any closer without going in.
Another chance for Alan from mid-distance. He's missed one already.
Very similar to this. But not this time. He's overhit it now, has he?
One.
Now this table is not running quick at all.
Sure.
Needs to get something going here, Alan. It's been a indifferent start to the afternoon for him. Earlier this season, he passed the 600 career century mark, one of only 10 players to achieve that feat.
Thank you, 210.
Cheers.
And again, he's misjudged it. Play for the red below the pink and to the right slightly. And that's end of break unless he can find a plant. This red along the cushion, it's very risky to take on, but he may feel he's no choice. If he misses it, it could be over the pocket.
Cheers. Mark Allen 4.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Needs a big bounce, though. Needs a big bounce. And that's just enough. Great opening red. Played it as a shot to nothing, but them shot to nothings can win you the frame sometimes. And it's given him a chance here. He's already 36 points in front. Long pot success for this session, 100%.
Oh, he's knocked in 2 or 3 crackers, hasn't he? Which, as mentioned at the start of this session, was not the case yesterday. He seemed to be struggling with hitting them thick on one side of the table and then overcompensating on the other from distance, but he's looked sharp on the resumption today. Already 36 in front. Oh, and he's overcut the brown. Well, it's never straightforward when you've got extensions on your cue and the rest, but even so, that's a good chance that's gone begging for Higgins, and that chance now falls to Alan.
Yeah, he's missed 3 times with the rest, and normally that's his strong suit.
One.
Well, he's gifted Mark Allen a chance to get right back into this frame. The blue could be his only stumbling block, really. This red close to the pocket is not a gimme either.
Eight. Nine.
Well, this is the first really good chance Allen has had to put a few together. He fluked to red earlier in this frame and potted the green, immediately ran out of position. Didn't really get a look in the first frame. So a chance
16.
to try and establish a bit of flow to it.
17. $24.
Now I've got to finish high on the black to be able to get back to that last red near the cushion.
25.
And this could be tricky, this red. Looks easy. Well, he hasn't left himself in the best spot there. Needed a little bit more angle.
32.
Doesn't want to hit this too hard. Played it well.
33.
Not the cleanest pot, but it's gone in. And this would be a real boost for Mark
40.
Allen. It was beginning to look as though Higgins was taking a two-frame advantage for the first time in this match. Mr. Brown with the rest.
Yeah, he'll be kicking himself for that.
42.
6 points the lead. He needs the blue.
$45.
And that's not the best angle. May have to go across the table and back across again. Could go wrong. Doesn't want to hit it. No, he didn't want to hit it.
49.
Although he's still got a pot at this blue to the corner. A little fortunate. Was gratefully received. The miss on the brown was very costly.
Mark Allen, 54.
One snooker.
Foul. Mark Allen, 6 and a frame.
Yeah, Mark Allen making the most of John Higgins' error on the brown. And in the process, levelling this match. First frame and a half, and had the chance to kill it off. Missed the brown with the extension on rest and cue. And sadly for him, even though he missed the brown, he played a perfectly good positional shot. So the chance came for Mark Allen. And he took it well. A break of 54 to leave Higgins requiring a snooker on the pink, and that didn't happen. Just a reminder that this evening, it's the second session of Kyron Wilson against Joe O'Connor. You can watch that on Discovery Plus tonight. Wilson, much the better player in the first session. Joe, not able at the moment anyway to replicate the form he showed in beating Selby. And it's also session 2 here on Eurosport 1 of Ronnie O'Sullivan and Ryan Day, who against the 7-times winner. So still all to play for in that one. O'Sullivan with a 2-frame advantage. Radzi and the team will be on air as usual at 6:45 UK time with the build-up.
Frame 11, Mark Allen to break.
The first 2 frames of the afternoon shared. The first apply the pressure, but Allen, having largely been frozen out, conjured a good half-century when given the chance.
No, I just may have left a long red to the right corner. If you can stun past those reds surrounding the black, doesn't like it. So trying to get in behind the brown, I would suspect. Yeah, it's pretty straight, this red to the corner. But might just try and drop it in. Leave the cue ball in the jaws of the pocket. Trying to catch it thin.
Foul. And a miss. John Higgins, 4. Back here.
So that's going back. Try the same thing. So you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to come off the cushion, the 2 cushions actually, catch the red thin, and send the cue ball back to the baulk area. It's a clever shot and well thought out.
Have a look at it on the screen. No, you couldn't play thin off it, but I thought it was pretty much a full ball, so, okay.
Paul Collier, who will be packing away his snooker gloves for good as a referee at the end of this season, not before he's taken charge of another final to take up an administrative role in the sport.
Yeah.
That looks absolutely spot on. Got the still frame just now.
So you're a little bit more this way then, just taking a bit of the red away, yeah?
That is the still frame. Well, it looks absolutely right to me.
Right, thanks.
Yeah, nicely played. And so well thought out to play it. Just caught it a little bit thick. Wanted to be the other side of the brown. Good pace though.
Foul and a miss. John Higgins 4.
Mark Allen was embroiled in an absolute epic with Mark Selby last season in the semi-finals. At one stage he led that particular match 6-3 and then trailed 16-10 before winning 5 in a row. It finished after midnight. Arguably had an impact on Selby for the start of the World Final.
Well, it's not going back because he's found a plant. And would have to hit it thick from his side, just slightly. Well, let's open things up a little.
They've shared the first 2 frames on table 2, by the way, so Stuart Bingham now leading by 6 frames to 4. Bingham now leading by 6 frames to 4 over Jack Lazowski, who's won the 10th. Coverage continues on Discovery Plus. This frame yet to really get underway. Important safety exchange underway.
Possible, please.
Thank you. Being honoured. Should have failed to be.
Not easy by any means, but a chance for Higgins to get back in.
Yeah, and there was lots of danger. He had to avoid all those reds. And maybe he's trying to avoid them more than the pot. He's got second prize. He's got pretty safe.
Yeah, that's clearly on the pedestrian side, particularly for Mark Allen at 35 seconds a shot. There's been a lot of thinking that's been going on so far. But it was a good break when he got his chance in the previous frame, a chance that Higgins will feel he shouldn't have given him. Of course, he missed the brown when he had a healthy lead. Another plant, and that one emphatically dispatched.
And there was great distance between those reds, wasn't there? That was a very, very attacking shot he played there, and he's on the pink to the middle. Got to make sure of the pink rather than the position, because the positional side of the shot is not guaranteed. There goes the pink, and I think he's just about on the red to the right of the black.
It was a real statement of intent, that, had he missed it. But maybe Higgins looking to play a more expansive game, really take this match to Allen. Showed his form in the first frame with that 75. Could have won the previous frame, perhaps should have done. I think he's feeling pretty good about his game at the moment, though. It's been a season where Higgins has been certainly very consistent. He's made 4 ranking semi-finals without going to a final. He's not won a ranking title now for over 3 years. But new cue,
15.
And always inspired when he comes back to of many of his greatest triumphs. Still gets the old buzz, he says. No different from when he made his debut here 30 years ago.
Yeah, trying to develop
21.
these 4 reds, which were all covering one another. And it could have landed a little kinder than this, couldn't it?
John Higgins, 21.
He'd have been expecting to make more from that, but the split wasn't kind when he went into the reds. That Miss Brown in the previous frame was very costly, and that red could be.
Into its 17th minute.
Yeah, it's not straightforward, this, is it? There's no way back to balk. So maybe just looking at playing a containing safety shot, trying to leave the cue ball on the black cushion. This is not easy at all, needs some thinking about. Right. He didn't get the cue ball to the black cushion, maybe it ran off a little, the cue ball, and he's left a red on to the left middle. Well, that's kind of a let-off, and I think he's got safe. was a really thin cut, that, to the corner. And he's left a chance here for Mark Allen. Well, I can't believe he played that shot, actually. Fancied him strongly for the red that was close to the pocket, and the pink did go. But he thought he could get him behind the blue, but that little kiss there on the red has left a chance for Higgins.
That doesn't look promising at first glance.
I don't think the black goes.
In which case, Allen has dodged a bullet because it was a poor safety having elected not to take the red on. The red's quite invitingly spread. If Higgins had got on a colour there, already 30 in front, every chance he was moving back in front. As it is, looks like end of break.
If Higgins leaves this cue ball on the cushion, it'll be just touchy-touchy.
Higgins will certainly want to avert that at all costs, given he's 30 in front.
Mr. Black.
He's missed the black and left the red on.
And a miss, Mark Allen 7.
What a bizarre passage of play this has proved to be. Mark Allen refusing the long red to the right corner, trying to play snooker behind the blue, making a mess of that. Higgins pots the red, doesn't get on a colour, and now he's fouled.
More importantly, though, he's left this red on.
1. One.
Well, he's well short of what he played. Pink to the right middle. That's what he played. And he's very fortunate that he's landed right behind this pink. Yeah, very fortunate to have left himself with such an easy pink from such a poor positional shot. Higgins will be kicking himself at missing the black and leaving the red on. I take it the two reds near the black spot. One of them will go, and that will clear that black spot area.
$14. 15. $21. 22.
Two significant errors from John Higgins in the last couple of frames, missing the break. Started much the better when he was looking good for 6-4, and then just now failing to connect with the black. Oh, but Alan's now missed the pink. Well, it's become very disjointed, this session, this frame.
Mark Allen, 22.
Now 27 minutes old.
Hasn't got on the red either. But it was the shot previously when he didn't finish on the pink as he played to do, which would have led him next to a nice easy red. By being the wrong side of the pink, he had to go in and out of baulk. And fortunately for Mark Allen, he didn't land on a red. Oh, nice little kiss. Don't think this will be going back.
Foul. And a miss. John Higgins, 4.
Another chance for John Higgins.
One.
The problem with
6.
frames like this, when things become so bitty, is that all rhythm is lost and every shot you play becomes that more difficult to execute as you'd like. It's been akin to walking through quicksand, this frame so far. Higgins 11 in front. Second consecutive 30-minute frame. With still a long way to go, you would think, in this one. It's a nice pot, though.
7.
Yeah, nice pot, but what kind of an angle has he got? It looks fairly straight, may have a slight angle if you can play it with left-hand side on the cue ball. Needs to slow down. Needs to slow down. And it just pulled up in time.
12. Thirteen. $80. $19.
Higgins is going to need one of the awkward reds with the colour to make the frame safe. So still some work to be done. 24 the lead.
Well, he wasn't sure
26.
if this red would go. And from there, it doesn't look like it goes, does it? No, that doesn't go.
Higgins 26.
.31 the advantage, but still 51 on the table.
Cheers.
He plays that shot so well. Excellent shot. Now, target would be the second red below the black. Nice and gentle. Played it well. Yeah, I would have expected to have got nearer the cushion.
Higgins still needs 2 reds to win this frame, which is now into its 36th minute.
Oh, yes. Great shot. Great shot. 32 points the difference. And he hasn't finished on one. That's incredibly unlucky, isn't it? To have played such a good long red and not to be on a colour. Maybe push the yellow to the cushion. He knows all the crafty shots, Higgins. Thinking of pushing the blue to the cushion, I would think.
John Higgins won. Sure.
And that just makes things a little bit harder for Mark Allen, if he does get a chance. Yeah, didn't play it much harder than that to get the cue ball in behind the colours, because the red would have gone further towards that corner pocket.
Certainly a big lead at the moment for Higgins, given the state of the table, with 2 of the colours out of commission, 2 of the colours out of commission. That's not to say Allen can't turn it around, but very much advantage Higgins at the moment, although he's pushed the red over the pocket here.
Yeah, and that's why Mark Allen didn't play that last shot harder, because he didn't want to play just this. I'm surprised that Higgins played it like that. I thought he would have played it thicker and sent the red towards the blue. And maybe he didn't want that. Very nearly developed the pink.
1.
Oh, I can see a very nasty snooker coming up here. Maybe cushion first on the brown.
Could do with a few penalty points, Allen. There's not much room to manoeuvre now. 31 the difference, with 35 now left, with that red having gone.
Mark Allen won.
It would be a big swerve if he attempted it. Oh, he swerved it too much.
Foul and a miss. Mark Allen, full. Back. What's that, John? Yeah. Okay.
Just a little bit less swerve.
A little bit tighter for it, yeah.
Just making it more difficult for
I think it gives
himself.
us a lot, yeah. Can we have a look?
I think it needs to move forward just a smidgen.
Well, it looks like it needs to go back a bit.
Well, that's where it was, that's where it is. So it needs to go forward.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Thanks.
But in the event, it's staying put. So can Higgins learn from that initial swerve where he overcooked?
Of course, he doesn't know where it's going to go if he does hit it. That's better. Now, is he snookered? Is he snookered? He is. Well, that's so unlucky for Mark Allen. It's going over the other pocket. He needs the snooker, and there was side on the cue ball, so just the red needed. What a hard-fought frame this has been for both players, and it always hurts the one who loses it the most.
And in goes the red. It has been a real struggle. John Higgins has always had the upper hand, but a couple of errors from him could have proved costly as it is, with Allen missing the red. Higgins has surely now got the frame one.
Yeah, still only one snooker though, and that wasn't the best positional shot in the world. So I've got to try and make sure of this.
And we saw a reaction from Mark Allen when he returned to his chair, having left the red over the pocket, banging his cue on the floor, left the red over the pocket, banging his cue on the floor in frustration. So much effort invested in this frame,
8
to no avail.
John Higgins, 8. And the frame.
Not a pretty frame by any stretch of the imagination, but it's gone the way of John Higgins. That's all he'll care about. And for the second time this afternoon, he edges in front in this battle royale here at the Crucible. He leads 6-5.
Do you need to borrow money for home improvements, a car? Then you've
To hit the lead again. 44 minutes, 33 seconds to be precise. And Mark Allen, having laid a nasty snooker, then found himself snookered on the final.
Cue ball going. Oh, and that now leaves a nice
Higgins,
easy
4.
starter for John Higgins. Things beginning to go.
One. Six.
Usual problems at the Crucible, and just that wall between the two tables. Looks like
7.
they've come to their mid-session interval. So you get a little bit of movement about. But John will be wise to that. Full concentration.
14. $15.
Now then, on this black, he could stun gently into the cluster, loosen a few, but you don't want to risk it, not at the moment. Just prepared to pick off the loose ones, build up a lead before he takes any risks.
22. $23. $30. $31.
Just one loose red to play for now, and he's not got the angle on the black to really go into that cluster with any great pace, so he'd probably play for the loose red. And now the next positional shot, very important.
38.
Overhit that somewhat.
John Higgins, 38.
Quite a number of unforced positional errors that have led to missed putts. That was nowhere near, was it? Frustration for both players here at the moment.
We try and smash into the bunch off this red. Well, decided to play it delicately and completely misjudged it. It's turning out to be a very frustrating afternoon for Mark Allen at the moment.
Sure. Blackpool. Mark Allen, 1. Thanks.
Well, it wasn't easy. He missed the red on the way up, and that's why he had so much pace in the cue ball. So here's a chance for Mark Allen. And the way things have gone so far in this session, if he was to go to the dressing room at the mid-session interval, all square, I think he'd settle for that.
Eight. Nine.
So no option here but to leave himself a mid-range red. As you see, and we see so many times, if you get a nice angle on the blue, it's
14.
so much easier, isn't it? This could be the key to the frame. Well,
15.
that is called using all the pocket. Didn't think it was in at first. Really didn't.
$21. $22.
Just got the angle this time. You could see there the way the cue ball came off the cushion. Played it
27.
with lots of left-hand side and played it perfectly.
$28.
That could have worked out better. I mean, there was such
35.
a nice little bunch to go, and you think if you make any sort of contact with him, you're going to bring all the reds into play. It's not the case. Certainly nothing easy. I think that red immediately below the pink is cuttable. May even go to the right middle, but he was looking for something easier than this.
Mark
No.
Allen, 35.
As I say, it's been a frustrating afternoon for him so far, and just when he was on the brink, you thought, of clinching this frame before the mid-session interval, he'll consider himself unlucky that he didn't finish on an easier red than that.
Yeah, maybe if he'd have hit the right-hand side of those 3 reds, he would have got a better outcome, but it did seem like he was a little unlucky. It's been a tough session, this, for both players.
Well, is he thinking about playing the pot? I know the cue ball will be going to the ball. Well, it's come away from the pocket. That's the danger with that type of shot. That's why he had to play it with. But I'll tell you what, you'll be pleased with the outcome.
Yeah, sure.
He's covered the path to it.
Okay, thanks.
Taking on a bit more significance now, this frame. 6 points in it. Mark Allen behind. Now he needs a good cue ball here. And he hasn't got one. So here's a chance for John Higgins. One good long pot. And it could see him over the line in this frame. 6 point advantage. Needs the 4 reds. But this one in particular. Good cue ball, but no great difficulty, you wouldn't have thought, for John Higgins. The red on the left-hand side of the table. Cross double. He's got to be a little bit wary of the double kiss if you catch it wrong. Well, he didn't want that one back.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, there's a couple of clever safety shots have just been played.
Just over 5 minutes. Oh, where's this red ball going? Where's the red ball going?
1.
Well, you can't beat a bit of luck. And that was a big slice of it. Well, is he surely not thinking of taking on this blue, is he? I mean, I know. You can think, oh, well, I've had a bit of luck, maybe this it's fate telling me something.
Rumble.
No, he's seen or thought better of it.
John Higgins, 1.
Not unlucky to catch the bump of the middle pocket. It's always in the same place.
Sure.
Yeah, so far, not the afternoon that Mark Allen was hoping for, wanting. Too many mistakes.
Okay. 1.
Well, there can be worse kisses than that. I had the perfect angle on the pink to play for the awkward red. 14 points the lead. These
7.
two reds, with either pink or black, gets him to snookers required.
Eight.
And cued that as well as he's cued anything so far.
Sure. 15.
Red, pink or black, or even the blue, but it'll be pink or black the way he's landed on this red. But he'll be concentrating to get the colour and the yellow and green to keep Mark Allen in his seat. Well, he decided to play for the blue.
16.
That's okay. This blue will put him 28 points in front, 27 remaining, but just be concentrating now on potting the yellow and green. And then make his way to the dressing room with a 2-frame advantage.
21.
And he'd settle for that. Didn't come right on the yellow, but knew the
23.
importance of potting it. He's got two snookers required now. If he pots the green, Mark Allen won't bother coming back to the table. He'd love to knock it in. Not quite.
John Higgins, 23.
So 30 points the lead, 25 remaining. 2 4-point snookers needed. There's a gap. There's always a gap.
Possibly worth potting green and brown and trying to get a snooker behind pink or black with the blue. But players are loath to get balls off the table when they need snookers. Good effort.
Yeah, just to pick up on Steve's point, of course, if you get or forced a foul off the blue, it's a 5-point foul. And that 5 points would mean with one snooker, he could tie.
Not too sure anybody really knows the right way to work out the percentages of that. You're more likely to get 2 lots of penalty points out of John Higgins with 5 balls on the table. 1 lot of penalty points with 3 balls on the table.
Okay then, you were the master tactician in your day. You tell us, what would you do? I think I know what you'd do.
I think I'd keep the green on the table.
Oh, I thought you'd go the other way.
There's always the possibility of a free ball as well, I suppose. You know, if you're going to be aggressive, you pot the blue and try and get a 6-point penalty and win the frame, but you don't get many chances to get a snooker with just 1 ball to snooker behind.
Well, he's at the green, but if it doesn't go in the pocket, that will be end of this frame. And they'll both go off, and Mark Allen has conceded. Didn't want John Higgins to pot the green. It's been very frustrating for Mark Allen. John Higgins, you could say, picking up the pieces, but he'll be delighted to go into the mid-session interval with a 2-frame advantage. 7-5.
Just picking him off from his mistakes.
OK, well, we're going to stick with this one live until the end of our transmission. If you want to watch the resumption of the Allen-Higgins match, it will be on the iPlayer and the other BBC platforms for you. But let's enjoy the last few frames of this. Back we go.
Well, with that little chat in the studio, it showed you some of the shots that Jack played, the wrong choice of shots, but the biggest one was the last one. Trying to plant like this with your opposite hand, God, that was so difficult. And okay, he didn't leave a red on, but he was banging trouble in behind the yellow. That cost him the frame.
That was a chance for Stu. He missed it, and he's left this red on. Doesn't really know where the cue was going here, and it's a tough pot. What a wonderful shot. And 2 for the price of 1. He's managed to get enough topspin to land on his black. OK, the black's missable, but to be honest, he's done very well to get there. And the black's safely in. Oh, he's a little bit unlucky. He was looking for any kind of cannon there, and he'd have been very close to the next red. He's got reds available, but he'd like to have just held the cue ball more centrally in amongst all them reds. Yeah, and that was the problem. Again, just tried to... It's almost as if he's just trying to play like flare shots all the time. He didn't have to hit it that hard. He's given himself a lot to do here. Stewart not having to work at all to get in amongst the balls.
Not the best from Stewart. He's going to have to get the rest out again. He wanted to be further up the table And he could have had yellow or green with an easy shot to get back to the reds. Got quite a way to travel now. Oh, and a mile off. It was the shot before that was the problem. When he didn't get nicely on one of the ball colours, and he had to force this a little bit to get back up to the reds and missed that by a long way.
One.
Yeah, both players have been making quite a few mistakes in this second session, Joe.
Yeah, you just feel if one of them can get their act together, there's an opportunity to run away with this match, because, like I say, the chances are coming thick and fast. Players just can't capitalise on them.
9. $16. 17.
Yeah, that's okay.
24.
You can knock this red in. Might not be able to get back for the black this time, but the yellow's in a nice favourable position.
25.
Yeah, you wouldn't want Jack Lesowski to slow his game down slightly, but he's such a natural talent and so fluent. But when you're out in the Crucible Theatre, it doesn't do any harm. Just a fraction. Just give yourself slightly bit more thinking time on certain
41.
shots without interrupting that wonderful flowing game that he has. He's so good to
42.
watch, this player.
Six. Seven.
Now he's in amongst the black.
$21.
And today, the 54 that won him the second frame of the session after Higgins had missed that brown. Snooker has been fairly stodgy though thus far, so he'd really like to break the shackles here. And
28.
Well, the black goes into this right corner, followed by the red above it. So great chance this. So great chance this.
35.
Yeah, pink doesn't go to the middle. I don't think he can get back to the black, so unless this red next to the black goes. Yeah, it does, so I'm not sure what he was
36.
studying there.
$44.
Thank you, 250.
$51.
Nicely played. Well, it was difficult cueing and seems to have speeded up a little bit, and it's doing him the world of good, actually.
$57.
To the right centre, and this is the result.
58.
A golden chance to get back to within a frame again.
Yeah, just one safety shot, wasn't it? And as you say, left him a chance at that red. And this is more like the Mark Allen that we know.
$64.
This red and a colour.
It's got to be blacks. Otherwise it's two snookers.
16. $17.
Uncomfortable moments for Allen, certainly, because he'll be only too aware of Higgins' prowess when it comes
24.
to laying effective snookers. He really should have killed the frame off. He was looking good for a century before missing that red to the right corner.
$25.
Now, where to leave the cue ball to try and lay a good snooker. You could land somewhere just above the pink. Well, he didn't want the hamper. A little bit further up would have been nice. Then you could have
32.
played the red in behind the blue, the white in behind the black. Not ideal. It's close though. It's very close, this.
John Higgins, 32.
Yep. And Mark Allen will be thinking, how have I left myself in this position? The easy red that I've just missed. I still fancy him to hit this one. It's just a one cushion escape. But he's got to be aware of where he leaves the cue ball if he misses it. Number one, he doesn't want to leave a free ball. That's most important. Number two, he doesn't leave the red on so that Higgins can pot the red and get to the black. Well played. Right in the middle of the red. Now he might decide to pot the black here while he's got the opportunity. Wow, it wriggled, didn't it?
One.
Now if you can drop on the baulk cushion, say 3 or 4 inches off the baulk cushion.
Paul Collier, who of course will be officiating the World Final a week today before he moves into an admin role with World Snooker. It's taking a while to sort this out. Let's have a look over at table 2 while we wait for play to recommence, and it's dead level over there. It's been a good afternoon so far for Jack Lazowski, having trailed 5-3 at one stage. He's managed to level with Stuart Bingham, although Bingham is in the balls, as you can see. It continues on Discovery Plus. We're back underway. Allen looking to avoid conceding the snooker that would let Higgins back into this frame.
Yeah, that should put paid to this game. 2 snookers required. Just got to be careful not to go in off, but I don't think Mark Allen will do something as silly as that. And that's absolutely certain.
And the initial break that did most of the damage was a fluent one. He'll have been a little disappointed not to win the frame slightly more emphatically than he has. The balls are set up for a big century, but he's won the frame. That's the most important thing, to stay in touch.
Mark Allen 5.
Barring snookers, that is, and indeed, John Higgins concedes. So, Higgins' lead shaved to a single frame. This match is every bit as tight as we expected it would be. Higgins leading, 7-6. Mark Allen, as he is wont to do, holding his cup of warm water there to keep his hands nice and supple. He'll be pleased to have won that frame. A slightly hairy moment for him with John Higgins, one of the great getters of snookers, threatening to turn the frame around, and he did lay a really good one to his credit. Allen got out of it very nicely. Little tap on the table from Higgins to acknowledge that, and Allen did the necessary to win the frame. 7-6. Frame 14. 3 more still to come in this session. The question is someone going to get a lead to take into tomorrow night's concluding session?
I think it's just gone past the yellow. Yep, there's confirmation. The red is on to the left middle. That was a chance for Mark Allen. He had his eye in. Made that 71 break in the last frame, and had he gone on to win the frame at that visit instead of playing on for snookers, I don't think he'd have missed that red.
One.
Tried to miss the reds and go back down for the blue block colours. Well, this is a big shot he's playing here. Black to the middle. Has to go in, this. Has to go in. And it has done. Very good.
I think that's typical of the positive approach John Higgins has taken today. He's been prepared to take one on that carries risk, and he's been rewarded there.
Nine.
Just a little far for the blue, but he's okay on the yellow. He can come down for that red by the blue. Well, Mark Allen showed the way in the last frame. Practically winning the frame at one visit. Well, left his opponent needing snookers anyway.
$17. So, 18.
Higgins has actually only made 2 breaks
25.
of real substance in this match. The 73 in the first session, which was his highest of the tournament, and the 75 he made at the start of this one to eclipse that. But he has looked just the more composed player overall today. Perhaps it was the other way round in the first session and he would have been happier to get out of it at 4-all. Today he's just had the edge, and he's looking now to guarantee that he can be no worse than 33. Level going into the decisive session by winning this frame.
$34.
I'm not sure if the blue will go into that left corner. Would make things a lot easier if it does. It's very tight, this. It looks like it will go on TV, but this is very tight only half a pocket there. Yeah, it was only
Higgins,
half a pocket.
34.
And now, what a chance for Mark Allen.
He was definitely distracted by the red, wasn't he? And in the end, overcompensated by going too wide.
Yeah, it was quite a lot wide, wasn't it? And maybe it drifted to the right as well, which didn't help. So the way that Mark Allen's playing, you'd expect him to score here.
Six. Seven.
Oh, he couldn't have played that any better. Nice little cannon.
14.
He knew he always had the red near the left corner, but he didn't really want to play that. But he made something happen there. A nice little cannon.
15.
It's really opened things up. The frame is in his grasp.
22. 23.
'Higgins reflecting on the chance he had.
29. 30.
The two reds closest together. I think one of them will go to the right middle. And he's got the opportunity to give them a little touch here. But he's not guaranteed to be on one, and that's why he's a little bit hesitant to play the shot.
$36. 37.
Now, will he play a little cannon to those two reds? If he gets it, you'd expect him to win the frame.
$44. 45.
Great chance now then for Mark Allen to capitalise on the miss blue from Higgins into that left corner when he was somewhat distracted
51.
by the red, obscuring part of the pocket. Hit it wide, and this is the result.
52.
18 the lead, so this black, red and any colour for parity.
Yeah, he started to find his touch, hasn't he, Mark
59.
Allen? Although he was handed the chance from Higgins. But all you can do is take them. And with that red going in,
60.
he's given himself every chance. 26 points the difference. You wouldn't expect him to miss this black, so 7 each.
And just as importantly, I think, for Allen, the fact that he's rediscovered some fluency that wasn't really there
67.
before the interval. 71 in the previous frame. As John Higgins watches on and reflects on a couple of frames
69.
that he'll feel have got away from winning positions. But it's all about punishing your opponent's mistakes here at the Crucible in particular. And Allen has done that.
72.
Higgins paid the price for a loose safety in the previous frame and for the miss blue in this one.
$76.
And right now, it almost feels inevitable that this is going to go to the wire.
81.
Not quite enough for the century, but this is much more like it
87.
from Mark Allen. He's played very well since the interval. The clearance of 94. Back-to-back frames for the pistol. He fires his way back into contention, and we're dead level again here at the Crucible. It's 7 frames when he led 7-5 at the interval, having won 3 of the first 4 today, but Allen has come back strongly, and he has got such a tremendous competitive spirit as Mark Allen. He's not easily phased, as he proved when he beat Ding for the UK Championship 6-1 down in a pretty precarious position, but he turned it around. And he's responded well since the interval with those 2 meaty breaks. So 2 more to come. Is it going to be on as even again as it was in the first session, or can one of these 2 forge a 2-frame advantage to take into the decisive session tomorrow night from 7 o'clock UK time?
Yeah, good shot. Very attacking shot. Wasn't a gimme by any means. But now that it's gone in, it's Mark Allen who's on the attack again.
Three.
Seems that once again, and certainly not for the first time in this championship, the interval has proved something of a watershed moment. Mark Allen was struggling a bit beforehand.
Four.
He's looked a different player since.
Yeah, I think he's been more positive as well since the interval, and maybe that's what he said to himself when he was in his dressing room. You know, I'm playing okay, playing good safety, but it's getting me nowhere. I've got to start knocking a few balls in, and that's what he started to do with that 71 and 94. And he's also speeded up a little bit.
6. Of course, it helps when you get clear chances, and John Higgins will feel that he's been guilty of giving Allen a way back into this second session, with first the safety error,
7.
frame before last, and then, of course, the miss blue. But Allen has looked good in taking those chances, and now looking to continue that momentum here, get himself in front again for the first time since 4-3.
Yeah, those little touches that he's playing are just working out sublimely.
14.
Again, just moving the red away from the black and leaving himself nicely
15.
on that red.
When he's playing at his peak, he has such good cue ball control. Quite often you won't even see that cue ball hitting the cushion very often, because he likes to stay really close in. Just little touches here and there, as Joe says. It's really nice
22.
to watch when he's playing nicely.
$23.
And as much as he's improved his overall match play and his difficulty to beat, that's certainly an asset at the Crucible, but it's not enough of itself. You've got to be able to score heavily as well when the chance presents itself, and that's what he's beginning to do now.
30.
Thank you. The final three on the session.
Now, he
31.
could take the opportunity here just to give those reds a little touch. He only has to knock 3 out, and he'd be on the red just above the cue ball.
$38.
May take the red to the middle. Difficult to get to the black from the other red. Even he says, wow.
Well, it took a tour of the lip of the pocket, this one. Happily for Allen, it disappeared.
Heart in the mouth moment. Now, no reason why he shouldn't put in a frame-winning break now.
44. $45.
So there's a red directly above the black. That will go into this left corner once he removes this loose red.
The tables have certainly turned
52.
since that 15-minute break. John Higgins' turn to warm his chair rather more than he'd like.
53.
He's a little short of pace now. This game isn't won now.
58.
There's a possible plant there, but there's distance between them. And he didn't play for this plant. Played for the red, the loose red. But it's there. Coolly played.
59.
Very coolly played.
Third half century in a row from Allen. He's picked his game up appreciably. He had to do that. I'm sure he would have been saying that to himself at the interval. He's raised his game appreciably.
So
65.
just this red needed. And that's all you can ask of yourself. Win the frame in one visit.
$66.
And he looks set to do that for the third frame on the bounce. And now it's John Higgins who needs to summon something in the final frame of this session. The pace has picked up significantly. At one stage it looks like they might not get all 8 in, but just one to come
72.
now. And Allen is really flowing.
$73.
Missed the cannon, but it's surely irrelevant with only 51 left. He'd love a century, of course, but he'll be highly delighted, I think, with the way he's responded to a bit of adversity at 7-5 down and not really playing anywhere near his capabilities. John Higgins concedes. It's 3 on the bounce from Mark Allen. He's found a couple of extra gears since that interval and now guarantees himself a share of the session. Can he lead it at the end? 8-7 up. It's to win 3 frames convincingly on the spin. And John Higgins now needs a response in this final frame of the session. Otherwise, Allen will be too clear when they come back to finish tomorrow night. He has the momentum. Higgins was the better player before the interval. Allen has turned the tables since.
The final frame of this session, John Higgins to break.
Well, long straight red to the corner. Can't see an easy safety. Oh, he's away off that one. Where's it going to finish?
Crucially, having missed the red by such a distance, it didn't collide into anything, which might have left Higgins something to go at. In the end, it's proved to be a pretty good safety, albeit not by design.
catching the reds too thick. Now, what's the damage? I think there may be one to the middle. A lot easier.
No doubt that Higgins has lost his way a bit since he carved out that 7-5 interval lead. And crucially, Mark Allen has been good enough to punish his mistakes. Can he do so again here? Allen now looking for a clean sweep in the second half of this session. What a result that would be, and what a setback for Higgins. He must have been feeling good at 7-5 up. Certainly wouldn't have been contemplating being behind at the end of this second session. But that's now becoming a distinct possibility.
Four.
Real?
Oh, the slides there. Okay. Five. Ten. 11.
Black will only go to one pocket at the moment.
17.
And this is the red that can get him there if he wants to. Doesn't have to play for the black. And he hasn't.
18.
Although Higgins won 3 this afternoon and looked the better player, the reality is that Allen has made many more breaks in this match. Only 2 70-plus contributions from Higgins, but nothing more than that. Allen has made 7 big breaks, including 3, of course, in the last 3 frames, and now threatening to do it again.
25.
Yeah, it started off with a really good red to the right middle, didn't it? And now he's right in amongst them. And like I said before,
31.
he doesn't have to play for the black. No, he's doing quite well with the pink.
$32.
Unrecognisable, really, from the player in the first 4 frames. Yes, he made a half century to pinch the second, but this has been much more like the Mark Allen that we've enjoyed watching over the years. We know that he's altered his game in recent times in a bid to become tougher to beat and more
38.
durable in these big events, and you'd have to say he's succeeded in that regard, given he's won 5 titles in the last 2 seasons. But you need that flow to your game as well
39.
when you get the chance, and that's what he's been able to locate since the interval.
Yeah, and it started with that good red to the middle from John Higgins' safety. Higgins played the cue ball down by the yellow pocket, but left a little sniff.
45.
At a red to the middle. It was tough. He knocked it in. And he won the frame from that.
46.
And he's been playing one chance snooker since then. Needing just one chance to win frames. And that is good snooker. Didn't bother him when he went 2 behind. Didn't panic. And Higgins could probably do with the break right now, actually. Because he's certainly found his touch, Mark Allen.
52.
Oh, it's been a very disappointing second half of the session for Higgins, no question about it. 2 mistakes have directly led to 2 frames for Allen, but it's been how clinical Allen has been able to be.
$53.
Yeah, he's got the pace of the table perfectly now. It's running a little slow for me, but he's really got used to it. And looks like it's suiting him.
Another 2 reds
59.
for a 9-7 overnight lead. What a result that will be for Allen from 7-5 behind.
$60.
Well, he's the wrong side of the pink. The pink will put him 66 in front with 67 left, and there you could see a little grimace because he's the wrong side. Had he been the other side of the pink, he would have had 2 easy reds to play for. As it is, this red along the cushion, if he takes it on, doesn't have to. Because don't forget, the black is available, so if he misses this...
And he's playing the past master of clearing up from this kind of deficit.
Yeah, just wriggled in. Touched that near knuckle, but it was at a good pace. And that was all he needed. Don't think there's any way back for Higgins now, especially if this pink goes in. Just wants to make sure of it.
A tough mini session for Higgins.
73.
Who's threatening to take a real grip on this match. It's been well and truly loosened. Mark Allen,
74.
unrecognisable from the player at the start of the afternoon. He's done what you have to do at the Crucible. Found a new level to get himself in front.
Mark Allen, 74 on the frame.
A sedate start from Mark Allen, but a 4-frame blitz after the interval has turned this match around. John Higgins is the one with work to do when they come back for the final session. The pistol firing on all cylinders in the last 4 frames to lead 9-7 going into the finale.